Daryl Chow threw the chef's hat on us with Walk and Roll, a game where you rolled lots of dice and created delicious Chinese dishes. And in my original review, I mentioned that the game was a lot of fun, though it lacked some of the nuances that you might crave in a deeper game. So let's take a look at the expansion, Walk and Roll: The Korean Wave. This expansion takes the base mechanisms of rolling and re-rolling dice and allocating them to recipes and turns up the heat a few notches. Like in the base game, on your turn you roll all the dice, re-rolling up to 2 more times trying to optimize your options. Once satisfied, or out of rolls, you allocate all 6 dice to your menu. All other players at the table can use the 4 white dice from your roll on their own board. While the base mechanisms remain the same, what you get this time around is brand new boards. The Korean Wave, like the original, features 2 options, a simpler and more advanced mode, or traditional versus modern menus. In both modes, we're introduced to the kimchi mechanic, which is maybe different than it sounds. Essentially, kimchi is a new ingredient that can only be obtained by earning it via your menu. Just like in the base game, you earn certain bonuses or ingredients for cooking certain dishes. Kimchi is one of those bonuses. If you complete a dish and cross off a box with a kimchi icon, you then have a kimchi to either use to advance a skill or to use in a high-scoring recipe. It's a cool mechanism, and it, along with some of the other changes, adds some maybe much-needed bite to the game. Now, I'm a little disappointed to see that the signature dishes were removed from this expansion, but they may have been replaced with something even cooler. But I'll get to that in just a minute. I mentioned skills, and these skills can be obtained by cashing in kimchi, as well as 3 cookbooks on the basic menu. Cool. It's sort of a recipe all of its own, and when you earn those skills, you get extra ingredients to use every roll. But on the advanced menu, you get something even cooler. A tech tree. This gives greater opportunity for player paths to fracture along the way. That in itself is cool, but it also does all this without adding too much mechanical difficulty to the overall game. So you're given a more puzzly cranial task with still easy to understand instructions. And ultimately, this is cooler than each player having a signature dish like in the base game, and it makes me only want to play the modern menu whenever I play the Korean Wave expansion. You've got the scarcity of kimchi, the fractured player paths, and the pantry overstock. Oh yeah, the pantry overstock. Cookbooks on the modern menu are used to advance skills or add ingredients to your pantry. You get bonuses for filling up your pantry, but inevitably you'll run out of space. When that happens, you don't get to stock those ingredients anymore. Instead, you check off a space on your overstock, and this is going to earn you bonus points as well as the ability to gain more skills. The endgame has been lengthened a bit. Instead of having to complete 3 dishes, you have to complete 4 dishes, which triggers the endgame. A daunting task at first, but as the game goes on and about halfway through, you realize that that ramps up fairly quickly, especially with the honed skills and the pantry options. The tech tree offers a big opportunity for bonus points, plus there are bonuses for being the first to complete 1 of each dish in a given category. Now in the base game, when it came to solo play, you played 10 rounds, and the rule said that you just wrote out 1 through 10 on the board in dry erase and checked it off as you went along. A nice feature that this has added is that 1 through 10 is right on the board, so you don't have to write anything there, you just tally it with what's made. Now yes, like I said, Walk and Roll is a fun game. It's the type of game that I wouldn't hesitate to pull out and play with just about anybody. For some people, it may lack a specific amount of bite, some heat to it. And the Korean Wave adds that. It adds some of those much needed nuances to give it legs. Mechanically speaking, it's about the same weight as the original game, but it offers that fractured player path, that tech tree, the options that every player has to suddenly make the same 6 dice do incredibly different things. And with that extra bite, you get something that's even better than the original game. And I'm really not one that's all about every single expansion that comes out. But this is the type of expansion that I like to see, something that is familiar, something that plays very similarly to the base game, but gives you more of what you want, more of what you loved about the base game. And this is exactly what it does. It takes the base game, it gives me more of what I wanted. It gives me more options. It gives me more decisions without adding to the weight. But for where I'm at, the Korean Wave is the perfect type of expansion for a game like Walk and Roll, and I highly recommend it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe. You can follow me on social media at Plumpy Thimble on TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Thank you very much.